How's it going, everyone? Agent Shadow here, and I'm so excited to be playing Rise on Xbox. But the reason you're here is to learn the ChargeBlade, so I'll skip most of the formalities and jump right in. However, I will mention that I do have a Twitch channel where I stream Rise on PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox as well, hosting open lobbies and helping players who need it. I'll leave a link in the description. Now let's hop in. If you are a veteran from Monster Hunter World, I'll leave timestamps for you to get to specifics of what you want to know, as most of the basic mechanics such as combos, guarding, and switching remain the same. If you're new, then welcome to the world of Monster Hunter, and the realm of Gigachads known as ChargeBlade mains. We chose this weapon over all others not only for its great attack and defense potential, but because there's no better feeling than booping the snoot of a monster with an AED. A lot of new things have been added with Monster Hunter Rise, such as wire bugs that change the combat a bit, but we're going to go over everything we can in this video, starting with types of ChargeBlades, Phials, using your Phials to charge your sword and shield, basic combos, movement, the AED, the UAED, guard points, Silkbinds, and that's about it. So the first thing we're going to go over are the types of ChargeBlades, of which there are two, Elemental and Impact. Impact Phial ChargeBlades usually focus on raw damage, and their Phials deal KO damage to monsters when landing hits on their heads. And the Ultimate Amped Elemental Discharge, or UAED, lands in a straight line from the point of impact. Elemental ChargeBlades focus on, you guessed it, elemental damage, which is dealt with every hit in Sword and Shield or Axe mode, and the UAED lands in a spread pattern from the point of impact. That's really the only difference between the two. Honestly though, I prefer Impact ChargeBlades for the knockdowns you're able to pull off. Next, it's time to go over Phials. If you look over here in the top left under your health and stamina gauges, you will see a row of 5 Phials. When gray and empty, you have empty Phials and no charge. When you start to attack the monster, these will turn yellow, indicating you have partly charged Phials. As you continue to do damage, these will turn red, indicating you have full charge. When you reach yellow or red charge, you can press right trigger plus B or R2 plus circle for PlayStation. I'm looking out for you too, guys. To store your Phials. Notice that they are now white and full, indicating they're ready to use. Note that yellow charge will only partially fill your Phials, but there are skills you can use to fully charge them from this state, but we'll cover that in another video. Also note that you can actively charge while your Phials are full, which will let you fill them again instantly after using them. However, if you charge them too much without storing them, you will become overcharged. See here how I can't hit the monster and my sword and Phials are glowing red. To fix this, simply store your Phials, which is again done by pressing right trigger plus B, or R2 plus circle. Now that your Phials are full, it's time to use them, and the first thing you should do as the ChargeBlade main is charge your shield. To do this in Sword and Shield mode, perform the shield charge combo, which is Y plus B or triangle plus circle 3 times. The moment your character is in this animation, which we will call the decision point or DP, where the ChargeBlade is behind their back, press R2 to charge your shield. In Axe mode, simply press Y plus B and do the same at the decision point. Note the shield icon here, and my shield is glowing red. When your shield is charged, your guarding is stronger and you take less knockbacks from attacks, but it's also the key to unlocking your greatest weapon, but we'll get into that in a minute. Note that the charge will not last forever, and once your icon starts blinking, you'll only have a short time left. You will need to recharge your shield during battle, so keep it in mind. Now it's time to charge your sword, and there are a few ways to do this, but I'll cover the basic one for now. While in Sword and Shield mode, press R2 plus B like you're storing your Phials, but hold Y after. The moment you're waiting for is here, when the sword retracts all the way into the shield. Release Y, and voila, your sword is now charged. Impact Phial ChargeBlades with charged sword will deal impact KO damage from sword hits while charged. Elemental ChargeBlades will deal elemental Phial damage as well. Again, this does not last forever and you will need to charge again to maintain it. Although it's not nearly as important as shield charge, as you need to have the shield charge first in order to charge the sword. Now we'll get into some basic combos. Instead of spelling them out, I'll perform them on screen and let you pause to catch the inputs. I will say, however, as a ChargeBlade main, it's important to have a charged shield and full Phials at all times in order to maximize your damage output and your defensive prowess. Try and keep an eye on your Phials and your shield charge state so you can replenish during the fight. Remember, The key to charging Phials is literally hitting the monster in Sword and Shield mode, so stick and move, people. Also, if you're wondering how to switch from Sword and Shield mode to Axe mode, simply hold right trigger and press Y. Pressing right trigger again will return you to Sword and Shield mode. Speaking of stick and move, let's go over movement. ChargeBlade has a few options for quick movement and repositioning in battle. The first being the basic dodge, a short distance roll maneuver that'll save your butt more times than you can count. However, the window of invincibility is extremely short and must be timed with great precision unless you have certain skills that increase dodge distance or invincibility window. This is done by pressing A on Xbox or X on PlayStation. The second maneuver is called the Fade Slash, which has your hunter slide to a different position and slash the monster. This is done by tilting the thumbstick in a direction and pressing B on Xbox, circle on PlayStation, mid-combo. This move is highly influenced by DI during the entire move, allowing you to switch it up at a moment's notice. The last move is the sidestep, which may not look like much at first, but when timed correctly can allow you to dodge at the last second during combo. This is done by tilting the thumbstick in either direction and pressing A on Xbox, X on PlayStation after storing Phials, after a hit in Sword and Shield mode, or after switching between Sword and Shield and Axe mode. Now it's time to go over the strongest tools in the ChargeBlade arsenal, the AED and the UAED. The Amped Elemental Discharge, or AED, is an attack that hits the monster in Axe mode, causing Phial damage at the point of impact at the cost of 1 Phial. While the Ultimate Amped Elemental Discharge, or UAED, is a devastating attack unleashing the power of all of your Phials. There's multiple ways to pull this off, but I'll go over the basics here. To perform the AED in Sword and Shield mode, start by doing the Shield Charge combo. If you don't remember, it's Y plus B or triangle plus circle 3 times. Then, at the decision point, instead of pressing R2, pull down on the left thumbstick and press Y or triangle. In Axe mode, simply press Y plus B and do the same thing at the decision point. Pull down on the left thumbstick and press Y or triangle. It's important to note here that you do not need a charged shield for this move, and in order to deal Phial damage, you'll need to have at least 1 full Phial. The Ultimate Amped Elemental Discharge is a little different. It requires a charged shield to pull off, and is basically the same input-wise, except you don't hold down or press Y in Sword and Shield mode. In Axe mode, simply press Y plus B and let it fly. Next up is guard points, which occurs when your hunter takes a hit while during an active animation that has the shield in front of him. This will cancel out the animation and also deal a little damage to the monster, turning your defense into offense. There are 2 basic guard points. One is done by timing your switch from Axe mode to Sword and Shield, and vice versa, which again is done by pressing right trigger plus Y or R2 plus triangle. Notice here, instead of switching, the animation canceled and a damage number popped up. The second one is at the end of the Sword and Shield Y or triangle combo, since it ends with the shield in front of you. Time these correctly and you'll be knocking down monsters regularly. The addition of the wire bugs have added some awesome new mechanics to Monster Hunter, so let's go over your new Silkbinds. The first is called Counter Peep Performance, which I like to call the Silkbind Guard. This reinforces your shield with wire bugs and makes your hunter brace for an attack. When hit, not only does it guard, but it instantly fills your Phials to full. This can be used on anything from roars to projectile and physical monster attacks, but will not stop unblockables unless you have certain skills equipped. To perform this, press left trigger plus B, or L2 plus circle on PlayStation, before an attack or roar. If landed correctly, you will hear a distinct sound I call the counter chime and your Phials will fill. This can also be chained into different moves. If you press Y plus B or triangle plus circle, you can go to the decision point, where you can choose to charge your shield with R2, or perform an AED or UAED if you have a charged shield. You can also press Y or triangle to charge the sword and land a hit on the monster if you have charged seal. Use this wisely, as you will need a wire bug available to perform it, and learn monster attack patterns to learn which move you should chain into after landing the Silkbind Guard. And that's about it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did, and be on the lookout for my advanced level ChargeBlade tutorial video dropping later this week. We'll see you all next time. Good luck and happy hunting.